Of all the dozens and dozens of crafts I've tried in my life, candle making has not been one of them. Check out my little experiment and let me know how I did. So I took a little Target trip the other day with my granddaughter, and I found these adorable little pots in the dollar section, and they were $5 each. This is a little acorn with a little lid on it, and then this is a little pumpkin pot ceramic bowl. I would like to make some candles with these, but I've never done this before. So I went on over to the Dollar Tree and I found this Irish coffee mug. I thought, how cute would that be to do a little experimenting? And so I got a bunch of these candles. And so let's see what we can do to colorize this wax and to make this a cute little candle. First thing I know we need to do is we need to put this candle in some water, and we're going to melt it. Now I think there's enough wax in this candle that once it boils down or melts down, that I'll be able to put a decent amount of wax in that little mug. And let's just add a little bit more water. You can see immediately where it's starting to pull away from the glass. So it's heating up right away. I like that. I like quick and easy processes. And we're gonna, once it all melts down, we're gonna steal that wick out of there. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so here we are about 40 or 45 minutes later. Now I decided to add another candle simply because I thought maybe there might not be enough wax once it was all melted down. And this is the weird part. What science person can tell me why this one was the first one that went in? This one was the second one that went in, like 10 minutes after. And that one is completely, almost completely melted, and this one is still messing around. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe the consistency of the wax is different, but that was really weird. So I'm gonna take these old, messed up Dollar Tree tongs, and we're gonna go down in here, and I'm gonna grab that wick. I'm gonna pull it out. Whoops. Oh. And bring it over to this, and then I'm going to transfer it to the cup. I'm going to pour a little bit of the liquid wax in the bottom, and I'm going to add the wick to the bottom like that. Then I'm going to take the skewer, I'm going to wrap it around. Gonna just lay down in that wax, and as it hardens, it will be set right there in the middle. See, just like that. And while we're waiting for slow pokey over here, I kind of pushed this down into the bottom a little bit like that, because it didn't seem like it was hitting the hot water. So maybe that's why it's not melting as quickly as this one did. Okay, so there might have been like an air bubble in between. So what I want to do here now with this is I want to add some fragrance. Now I have just a little bit of this pure vanilla extract, and I'm just going to put in, you know what, I'm worried though. I feel like I should turn the fire off because there's alcohol in this. I just don't want it to go up in flames here. We're going to put that in there just like that. And I have some instant coffee, and I'm just going to add that to the mix here. I'm going to put it right down in just for some color, not necessarily so much for, it's gonna, when it solidifies again, it's going to be white or, solid color. It's not going to be clear like this. So, but I just want to add a little bit of color. So I'm adding the coffee, mixing it in, and I'm hoping that it will dissolve like it does in water because it's pretty hot. Okay, I think I'm going to turn that fire back on and let it keep melting. Melt, baby, melt. Maybe a little bit more coffee. I don't know if that's helping at all with the color, but maybe it will surprise me and dry with the little specks of the coffee here and there. Looks like it's all at the bottom, but hopefully once it's poured, it will all come out. All right. Last but not least, I have some of this Fighting Five Eden's Garden Synergy Blend, it's called. It's an essential oil that I really like. And we're just going to go ahead and add us a bunch of drops because we want that to smell very, there's a lot of clove and cinnamon and all those wonderful warm scents. So I'm going to add that right to the mix. Give it a good stir. Okay, so this is what we've got, kind of a very odd color going on here. We're just going to go ahead and pour that wax in there. And I see that all the color is on the bottom here. Grins and giggles, I'm going to go ahead and add some more coffee crystals in here. And while it is curing, I'm going to give it a stir. And while it smells good, I still can't get this sludge from the bottom, the color from the bottom, to come up and join the rest of the party. So, just gonna keep pouring. See, it's very clear. I don't know why it's so dark on the bottom. Very strange, but maybe it'll look more like tea. We've taken the wick and some of this remaining wax. We're just going to let it set it aside over here. And then we've turned the water off, and I'm going to take all of the liquid, which is just plain wax, clear wax, and take it over to this station. And I've got an old whisk here that's kind of beat up. As you can see, it's kind of wonky, so I don't really care. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till that wax sets up a little bit, and I'm going to whip it a little bit so that it looks like whipped cream on the top. I'm hoping that that's what it's going to end up looking like. That's my goal. Wish me luck. Alrighty then. 10 minutes later, I set this bad boy in the fridge for a few minutes, and look at it. Looks like it's got like a little bit of cream in the coffee, right? And I added just a few more of those coffee granules to the top, and it's looking kind of festive, in my opinion. And here's the wax that I just kind of left to whip up a little bit, and it's getting hardened. So I'm going to quickly add it to the top of our cup here, and I am going to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on top. Okay, now with a little spoon, I'm just going to kind of dig out some of this wax, and we're just going to add it. I'm going to unroll the skewer that was holding the wick, and I'm going to go in with my little spoon here. We're going to add, a little whipped cream on that side and on that side. And on this side, and kind of mound it up like, like whipped cream would be, a little lumpy. Use my skewer here to get some of it off while it's still soft. And why not, right? Maybe not that much. Maybe just a little bit more, but not that much. As my husband would say, not too much, Susie. All right, so I'm liking the way that looks. Now we're going to just go ahead And we're going to take a little bit of cinnamon and sprinkle that on top. Yeah, it made a mess, but that's okay. That's what crafting is all about, right? Tap some of it off. And there we go. I think that turned out really cute. And I'm gonna just go ahead and snip off this wick. Just a couple of, about a ½ an inch maybe. Yeah, like that. I'm gonna clean it so that when we light it, it's gonna light up real nice. And I'm loving this, guys. I think this looks really nice. What do y'all think? Would you want to drink a festive drink like that? How cool. Okay, so now that we have some cinnamon and some leftover wax, I'm thinking, look at the color it's turning this. It's almost a pumpkin color, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna sprinkle in a bunch more cinnamon. Ooh, there's a cloud of cinnamon in here. And I'm gonna set it in the microwave for 20 or 30 seconds, warm it up, and mix it up a little bit better, because the more cinnamon you add, the browner it gets, right? So that's looking more pumpkin pie-ish. And I have some of this essential oil. It's called Immunity, and it has a lot of clove and cinnamon and spice in it. So I put some of that in here along with some more of the melted wax, and just gonna stir it up really well. And I put some more cinnamon in and just kept shaking it until it's like the right color. I'm really liking this color. It looks very pumpkin-y. Now I'm just gonna carefully pour it in to the cup where I have the wick already attached, like we did with the last one. And we're gonna fill it up to the top, to the tippy top, just like that. And I'm gonna top it off with a shake or two of some cinnamon. Doesn't that look yummy? We're gonna take the stick out of the wick. And I'm gonna trim it down just a little bit. And in the fridge for a few minutes with that one. And we're gonna take this one out. Look how pretty that turned out. I'm loving this. And now for the moment of truth. Oh yeah. What a great gift this would make for someone. Who do you know in your family that would appreciate this? That's the little Dollar Tree Irish coffee mug, a Dollar Tree, probably 2 Dollar Tree candles, maybe 1.5, and a little bit of cinnamon and coffee and some essential oil to make it smell pretty. And I am thrilled. Look at the way that's burning. Oh, it's gonna smell so good. Hang tight, we've got more. Here I've added some more cinnamon and more essential oil. I'm gonna add a little bit more, well, a lot bit more of the wax. I'm gonna try to steal that wick in there, because I'm gonna use that in our little pumpkin pour just a little bit into the bottom of the mold until it starts to set up a little. And I would whisk some of the cold wax into the hot wax here. And we are ready to pour. I decided since I had 2 wicks, I'm gonna do a 2-wick candle. Here we go. And once that sets up, I'll trim those wicks and put a little lid on this one in here. and wait for it to cool down. And I've trimmed the wick on the pumpkin, and I'm going to just put a lid on it and let it cool down right along with our little acorn. I couldn't be happier with how these turned out. I love, love, love them. Here's our pumpkin spice acorn and our pumpkin candle with 2 wicks. What do y'all think? If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you next time.